Hey there, and welcome back to Channel 64. So today we've got a very big project, something I've been looking forward to the entire season, and we've been kind of working on it for just about the entire season. That is the water ride. That's right, we're going to be putting that together today. And first, though, we have to solve a mystery, and that is, where did my mountain go? I swear I had a mountain over here. Sure looks like I did. Of course, we've been doing some digging. So I've cleared out the area to make room for all of the redstone that's going to go in this ride, as well as we're going to be replacing this mountain with a much superior mountain, a grander mountain that is absolutely huge. How huge? Well, bigger than my largest builds. So I've had a couple builds. I've done a mountain that was about 200,000 blocks. Last season, we did our octopus, which was also 300,000 blocks. And this build, well, as you can see by the number of shulker boxes that are under my feet right here, there's a lot of them. And it's just about, I think, 350 shulker boxes, or just over 500,000. 500,000 blocks in this build. But oh man, I've spent so much time figuring out where those blocks are going to go. You're going to love this. So I think we should probably not waste any time whatsoever, because there's a lot to go over about this ride, the design of it, how it works, all that fun stuff, and we need to get right into it. So we're going to jump into a massive time lapse and get this thing put together. All right, and we've finished everything in that build. Can you believe it? Already 500,000 blocks placed down and then some. So, well, I kind of went ahead and did some more details, and then did some more details, and added even more things. And wouldn't you know it, the park's finished. So here we go. Let's start off with the section we just built, which was Rascal Pines. And of course, this is our nature themed giant tall spruce trees and lumber mill water ride area. We've got our friendly rascally raccoons that are populating the place, and those will come in handy here in a moment when we get into our brand new ride. Off to this side over here, we have a nature trail with a bunch of terraforming and foliage work that I've put in here. It kind of loops around this way and then goes over this way across a bridge into our brand new ride. Of course, we have the nice ambient music playing, and this is really gorgeous, especially during the nighttime. Then we head on over the bridge over here. And here it is, our brand new ride, Trash Pandemonium. I don't think you guys are ready for this. This thing is going to be insane. It's going to blow your mind. So Trash Pandemonium is a fully themed water ride that includes a target shooting minigame. So you start off by grabbing a bow and arrow, which I've already done. And then we go ahead and wait on this pressure plate here to call our boat. But also we have an automated PA system that...
Hiya folks, I'm Doug Beaverton. Welcome to Trash Pandemonium, a rootin' tootin' target shooting boat ride. Be sure to grab a dart gun and a dart, then stand on the pressure plate until your boat arrives. Good luck.
As I was saying, we have an automated PA system that kind of explains to you what you need to do as well. We're going to go ahead and wait on our pressure plate right here. And after a certain amount of time, a boat should dispense from over here.
Partner, your boat should arrive.
The boats are all timed
Please
to be equally spaced apart in the ride and to keep everything consistent. So here we go.
Tracked per boat, so be sure to see how you did at the end.
All right, and for those who don't remember previously, these are special boats that we've created with a data pack. They essentially disable the player from rowing because we wouldn't want that to be messing up things. And also, I can kind of do a full 360, which will help with target shooting. Ah, yes, that's Mr. Doug Beaverton. We'll be seeing a lot of him. So in this ride, we have to shoot different targets, mainly raccoons. Some targets spawn raccoons. Like that one. Let's see if we can hit this one over here. There's 3 different types of targets. Oh, I missed it. The dumpster ones that kind of launch them in the air. And I missed again. This is a lot harder than it looks.
Hit as many of those trash pandas as you can with your dart gun, and I'll reward you for your efforts. And don't worry, it won't hurt them. But they'll have a heck of a hangover when they wake up from their nap.
The stationary target's a little bit easier. Let's see if we can hit this one. Oh, I missed again.
Some call me crazy for pivoting from lumber to energy drinks. Darn tootin', I'm crazy rich.
Probably should stick with the stationary ones. A little bit easier to hit. I can never hit those. Those are so difficult.
I played Beaver number 64 and hundreds of beavers, so I'm kind of famous.
We also have raccoons that are running along this window here. Let's see if we can spot that one. Not yet. Oh, we missed it. It just went.
You're probably wondering where all the bees are. They're probably sleeping or drowning themselves in the ocean. You never could tell with bees nowadays.
All right, I'm gonna hit one of these. Let's try this. Oh, so close again.
Those raccoons have headed up the mountain. Better get on up after them, you hear?
It's very hard to hit these. Ouch. Up we go. Upper chain lift.
You see that over there? It's our segue to our sponsor, Doug Beaverton's world-famous spruce juice. Sap that tree energy and put it in your gullet. Now, with 4 times more bees per bottle, you better believe it.
Oh, didn't time that right.
Now I know what you're thinking. Doug, did you just say the spruce juice contains bees? I'll let you in on a little secret. 4 times 0 still equals 0, but also yes.
So the raccoon voices, Liv Awesome actually lended her voice acting talents to voice those, and they came out absolutely perfect. All right, into our first dark area. This is the cave. There we go, we got one. As you can see, the black drop tile ceiling, and if you look up carefully, you can also see some of the air conditioning vents, like you would see at a Disneyland park ride. Oh, missed again. So the main concept of this ride was developed from Dingyfried's lazy river design, and of course I kind of took it to the extreme, so I hope he appreciates it. I'll be sure to link his video down in the description below.
It looks like the trail leads into this cave. Oh, wow. I'm never going to financially recover from this.
Oh, drop time. Love that effect. Now we're in Raccoon Town. There should be a lot of targets here. Of course, they're still difficult to get. Oh, there's one of the raccoons that's running by. Oh, missed it. Your best chance for targets is actually here in the town square. But this area is really full of targets. Just have to keep an eye out. All right, and that's pretty much the end of the targets here. Now we're going to go down our final water drop and then head back to the queuing area where we will see our score. So pretty at night.
Ah, dang it, they escaped again. Well, we'll get them next time. Be sure to check your score as you exit the boat and collect your reward. I hope to see y'all again real soon.
All right, and then over here we should see our score pop up as it's counting the points that we got during the ride. Whoop. There we go. Took a little bit to come in. 54. So we get 5 tickets. That's 1 for every 10 points. Not bad. It's actually better than the last time I ran this. We had 46. So once we're done here, a boat, of course, destroys itself around this corner, and then we would exit down below. And of course, get some more prize tickets here. But of course, you probably want to know how some of this stuff works. So let's take a look behind the scenes at all of the redstone. All right, so first things first, of course, like I said, the boat ends up coming back around here, gets destroyed by the cactus. That ends up in the boat dispensing system, which is on a hopper timer right here. This is timed specifically to keep the boats evenly spaced out on the ride, because we've broken up the ride into multiple sections, and that's important when it comes to the actual scorekeeping of the ride itself. And back here, you'll see many lines that are going around. So let's try to explain some of this pretty quickly here. So the main thing about this ride is we have all those different targets that we're shooting, and all of those have their own spawner setups. Essentially, it's a little redstone system. Like here's an example of one of the stationary ones that spawns in the raccoon. So this is our little raccoon guy, and you can probably guess based off of the minecart rail. And of course, if you saw my episodes earlier in the season, these are just remodeled, retextured minecarts. And essentially, I've used Blockbench and Minecraft's built-in animation system to make these little wiggling guys. So we've got, this one right here, which is a dancing variant. And then I think we can find one that's waving. Let's see, this little guy's waving. So we have those guys there, and then essentially this is sitting on top of a dispenser, which has a hopper minecart pushed into it, and then below that is a dropper and a hopper. So when you shoot this, the hopper minecart actually picks it up through this, and then it drops into the hopper, which then gets seen by this comparator, which loops all the way around back to a torch. Which then redispenses another minecart in here. And these have usually the 2 different variants, the waving and the dancing, just to kind of mix it up a little bit. And then, of course, our custom audio, which is through a data pack, a resource pack that has all of the raccoon sounds. And so that's triggered right here as well. We set up those player heads to do that. What else? So this right here is an example of the different sections of the map for scoring. So each one of these little pressure plate sensors is it's a boat detector that essentially either triggers audio or it triggers the incrementer for the scoring sections. So what I mean by that is, let's imagine that our boat was boat number 1. Okay, so or boat number 2. Let's do that. So boat number 2 goes into the first section of the ride, and what would happen is you would see this would be lit up right here, the first one, and as it crosses that threshold, it would switch to number 2. And essentially, that boat that I'd be riding in would always be number 2 in all of the different sections. So the one, for example, we just went through now was number 6. And so it's number 6 in all of the sections. So if there was another boat that was behind me, that would be boat number 7. And we have up to 10 boats, which is why we have these 10 bus lines using the Minecraft powered rails and the activator rails, as well as all of these observers that causes this signal to be sent very fast through the whole system. And so basically what each of those sections does is it will push up this block right here for whatever boat is in that section. And so when the score comes through on these lines, it basically triggers this line of observers, and the only one that's going to continue on through the system to the score counter is going to be one for the appropriate boat. And then, yeah, so we've got all of those. And so there's, I think, a total of, I don't even remember how many sections now, a lot, lots of colors. And then we have right here, this is the actual score counting system. And what this does is a few things. Not only does it count your score, but it also splits up the score between the tens values and the ones values. And we do that so that it can display that score on the 7-segment display much quicker than it would if it had to count, like, say, 54 of those objects all at once. It actually takes quite a bit of time because it's limited by hopper speed. So splitting that up so that it can increment both of the different digits on those counters at the same time, it's much, much, much faster. And so the score is able to be displayed before the next boat gets there. And we do that by using the output of this decorative pot. So funny enough, these decorative pots, when you put 10 objects in there, it actually creates a red sun signal with a comparator of 3. It's right at 10, so that creates 3. So once we hit 3, essentially this dropper right here spits an item into this pot, and that also triggers this to empty out. So as this is going along, once we hit that final section, right before the last chain lift, it essentially drains all whatever's remaining in here out, and then that goes into the counters up top. So it ends up right here. So this is our 7-segment display by peterjiangTW. It's really, really compact and really useful. So I went ahead and made it 3 digits just in case we do really well on this ride. It's possible with two boat riders that you might actually end up in the hundreds. But I don't know if it's going to be much higher than that. I don't think you're going to get 1,000 points on this ride. There are about 70 to 80, I don't remember the exact count, spawners in this map. And so there is a lot of opportunity for score. So there's all of that. And yeah, so then also spits out, of course, like I said, the tickets. And that's based off of the tens counter over here. Basically triggers all of these tickets to spit out once every time that tens counter ticks. So that's why we got 5. So yeah, that's pretty much the quickest way to describe it. There's a lot more that's going on in there. Obviously gets a lot more complex when we have the raccoons running across right there. Still going to be a minecart. This one, of course, if I shoot it as it's running across, it gets stuck in these hoppers, and then that triggers this comparator as it comes by. Otherwise, it gets broken into an item and then goes through this water stream and ends up back in the beginning. The dumpster ones here, kind of a similar situation. Essentially gets dispensed onto this rail, ends up in this water stream, which flings it in the air. The model of the raccoon itself makes it look like it's spinning and flailing its arms, but it's just a minecart flying into the air. You break it, it ends up in one of these hoppers around here or right there or somewhere along this line. If it ends up staying intact, then it gets broken by this lava cauldron down here and ends up in the system right there. Otherwise, it passes through this, which also gets picked up by the comparator. And then that, of course, triggers the scoring system to go on down there. And like I said, there's a few other of those triggers that actually trigger voice lines. So like this one right here is a voice line versus the actual switch of the sections right there. What else? Oh, Dog Beaverton. So this is a fun one. So much like I changed the minecarts by altering the models and layered it on top of this, can you guess what this is? If you guessed an armor stand, that is correct. It is a custom resourced armor stand that we... So basically, he's always bobbing his head back and forth like that, but I can pose the armor stand in any sort of pose and give it a player skin because it has another model in there. If I rename this Beaverton, it turns into this using like kind of the Optifine stuff. And so, of course, we have over here, he's in this pose, or, down here, he's kind of pointing. So it's an animatronic, but it's also, an armor stand. We locked it so the players can't shoot it. So you know, we want poor Doug getting hurt. He's been through enough. But yeah, so the premise of the ride essentially is this guy, Doug Beaverton, he's, you know, ran the lumber mill for a while, but decided to pivot to this weird energy drink that uses tree sap and honey. And then, of course, the raccoons got into it. And what happens when small animals get into something that's full of caffeine and sugar? They go bonkers. And so that's why you're tranquilizing all of them to, you know, capture them. Anyways, so that's all of that. It's a lot. It's certainly a unique ride. I don't think I've ever seen this attempted before, but I hope you guys enjoy it when you check it out. But that's not all. We also created a whole nother section of the park. So let's go check that out. So we're going to go ahead and head through our nature walk here real quick. And head on over to Dustwater. And then, of course, we have another sign entrance right here with our little raccoon guy. So Dustwater is the kind of Wild West themed area of the park. This was put together by Fish in a Suit. So he went ahead and designed much of the stuff that's in here. I did some finishing decorations and made a few tweaks, as well as designed this ride in the middle. This is actually my one-chunk roller coaster from my very first SMP Collusion MC. This is the Mine Shaft. We can go check this out real quick. It's a stunt coaster based off of some of the Redstone roller coaster designs of the one and only Mumbo Jumbo. Put out a wonderful video years back, and it really inspired me to put that together. So let's go check it out. This one's not as many frills, I should say. It has a lot of thrills, that's for sure. We hop in, hit the button, and we head on up. And it's got a few slime block jumps, all sorts of things. Got a big slime block piston lift. Added a nice train whistle sound effect to the top there. I thought that was really cool. Oh, getting some more cactus. Free cactus. Yeah, loop-de-loop. We got our final descent here. And we're out. And then, of course, exit the ride, grab a ticket. Also, to add a little bit more life to the section here, I went ahead and added this runaway minecart that ends up falling down this mine shaft and exploding. That's thanks to yet another player head that we have. As you can see down there, we got a string and an observer, and we'll watch this guy. He should be coming by here any sec. Shoo. All right, so that's pretty cool. And this, of course, ties in back to the boardwalk over there. We can kind of head that way real quick. Probably should need to eat some food, actually. So back to the boardwalk. There's our sign for Dustwater. And it also connects back up to the promenade. Oh, also, I went ahead and added all of these Yeti banners that Lucy Tiger made for us. Those are awesome. So I'm glad to have those in the park. We have another massive creation from Oliver, who is one of our supporting cast members as well. So we had Fish and Suit working on that. Oliver completely designed and made this. This is a boat course, and it is like this ice palace, which is really cool. So yeah, ice boat course that goes through here, and just a massively awesome build. And then last but not least, we also have this right here, which is Arrington's mini game. This is called Deep Dive. It is a diving treasure hunting game. You gather fish and treasure, and you have to dive deep into the water. I haven't actually played it yet, but I believe he goes over the rules and how to play it in his actual episode, which will be coming very soon. So look forward to that. But I do want to check this out at some point soon, because it's pretty massive, and he's been working really hard on that. We have that as well tied to the boardwalk. The last thing I was going to mention is I did end up adding some additional sound effects to the drop tower here. So we've got wind rushing sounds at the top, and then as well as more of a mechanical sound as it's going up and down. So let's check that out real fast. So I just try to get a little bit more realism thrown in there, so you can hear the wind as we get up top, the wind rushing. You kind of hear that also in the water ride up in the mountains. And there we go. We also have a sound that indicates the ride's over, so that we were having some folks ride that and were like, is it done? So, yeah. All right, and more tickets. And of course, our tickets go in our prize area over there, so we'll have to check that out. I don't know if I ever showed this off, but yeah, our bathrooms, and of course, you can flush the toilets. Gotta have that. So that's it. I think we did a great job with this park, and I can't believe it's finally done. I never thought I would get to this point, but here we are. Of course, I'm probably going to be adding even more polish between now and the world download, so look forward to that. We've got some custom balloons. We're going to get some, armor stands to make this thing more alive, but pretty much functionally, it is done, and I accomplished what I was hoping to do, which is have a functional theme park with many rides and many mini games. And we've done a lot of that this year. That's probably going to lead into next season, where we do even more of that type of stuff, making some giant mini games and who knows what. Well, from the bottom of my heart, I would like to thank everybody for watching this season and enjoying the process as we put together an entire amusement park from scratch, from nothing. So I appreciate you guys, and I hope you enjoyed everything. And of course, I want you to visit. So keep an eye out in our community Discord, link down below. We're going to be having a public world tour day, and I want you to personally come and check out all the attractions and rides. So until next time, until next season, safe travels, everyone.